Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fluent with Teacher Pablo, the podcast where you grow your English and your thinking, one conversation at a time. I'm Mark, and today's episode is about something many people confuse: tolerance versus respect.
This is one of those topics that sounds simple until you start reflecting on it. Is tolerating someone the same as respecting them? Not really, but in society, these two often get mixed up.
Absolutely. Today, we're going to explore the difference between the two, why it matters, and how both show up in our personal lives, workplaces, and communities. So let's dive right in.
Let's start by defining both terms. What does tolerance mean to you?
To me, tolerance means putting up with something or someone you don't agree with. There's often a sense of disapproval underneath.
Right. It's like saying, I don't like it, but I'll accept it because I have to.
Exactly. Now contrast that with respect, which goes beyond acceptance. Respect means recognizing someone's value, even if they're different from you.
Yes, and notice the difference in tone. Tolerance feels passive, almost cold. Respect feels active. It involves empathy and curiosity.
So why does it matter whether we tolerate or respect others?
Because tolerance can maintain peace, but respect builds relationships. Tolerance keeps conflict down, but respect creates connection.
That's a great distinction. And although both are necessary in a diverse society, respect is what makes inclusion meaningful.
Also, when people say just be tolerant, it sometimes implies ignore them, but don't fight. Respect, on the other hand, says see them, understand them.
Exactly. Tolerance is a minimum. Respect is the goal.
Let's bring this closer to home. Have you ever been tolerated but not respected?
Yes. I remember being in a room where people listened to me speak, but their body language made it clear they didn't really value my input. They were being polite, but distant.
That's the difference. Respect is about listening with the intention to understand, not just to reply.
And for English learners, this is crucial. In multicultural environments, how we show tolerance or respect through tone, body language, or words makes a big difference.
Exactly. You might say, I understand where you're coming from. That's a different perspective. I hadn't considered that.
Si te está gustando el contenido de este podcast, te agradecería mucho que me dejes un comentario con cuál sería el siguiente tema que te gustaría ver dentro de estas conversaciones, que te suscribas, me dejes tu like y lo compartas con quien creas que le pueda servir para poder traerte más contenido como este.
And that shifts the tone from judgment to curiosity.
Now, let's look at tolerance in the workplace.
This is where many companies get it wrong. They create diverse teams, but don't invest in building respect between team members.
Right. People tolerate their coworkers. They avoid conflict, smile politely, but they don't build trust.
And without trust, there's no innovation, no collaboration. The most effective teams are not just diverse, they're mutually respectful.
So true. A multicultural team needs more than tolerance policies. It needs a culture of respect, where every voice matters.
Here's something tricky. On social media, we see a lot of performative tolerance.
Yes, people share hashtags or post a flag during Pride Month, for example, but they don't support those communities in real life.
Exactly. There's a difference between being politically correct and being personally committed.
Respect requires consistency. It's not a post. It's how you behave when no one's watching.
Let's be clear, it's better to tolerate than to hate. But if we stop at tolerance, we'll never build real solidarity.
Another important point, you don't need to agree with someone to respect them.
Yes, that's a huge misunderstanding. People think, if I respect them, I'm supporting their lifestyle or beliefs.
But respect is about recognizing someone's dignity as a human being, not necessarily endorsing everything they do.
You can disagree respectfully. You can say, I see it differently, but I respect your right to choose. And that's powerful.
Exactly. That's emotional maturity, and it creates space for dialogue instead of division.
How do we teach this difference to children or young learners?
It starts with language. For example, instead of saying, ignore people who are different, we can say, be curious. Ask questions. Listen.
Modeling matters too. Kids watch how adults handle disagreement. If we show patience and empathy, they'll mirror that.
And in English classes, we can use role plays or debates to help students practice respectful disagreement.
Absolutely. Phrases like, that's an interesting point. Can you help me understand more? Help build that mindset.
So, to wrap it up, tolerance keeps the peace. Respect builds the future.
Yes, in a globalized world, we can't just put up with each other. We need to learn from each other.
So next time you hear someone say, I tolerate that, ask yourself, Could I go one step further and show respect?
That's the challenge. Move beyond passive acceptance to active engagement.
Thanks for being with us today. Don't forget to check the vocabulary table in the show notes and practice using these expressions in your next English conversation.
Until next time, stay respectful, stay open, and stay fluent.